Time for a day out! Why is there so much hair? Is this my hair? It looks like it. Okay, I'll think about this later. Time to put my favorite shoes on! Why doesn't it fit me? Why is it so loose? What the freaking hell is happening? Hello beautiful minds! Welcome to my channel. I am Saika, and today I'd like to share with you guys what unexpected changes I experienced once I lost the weight. So I thought that once I lost the weight, I did just that. I lost the weight. I thought that I would just shed pounds, fit into better clothes, and move better. But what I didn't take into account were the unexpected changes that related to my weight one way or another, and today I'll be sharing to you guys some of those changes. So without further ado, let's get into it. Number 1. Bodily changes. So aside from the obvious that I lost a lot of tummy fat, a bodily change that really took me off guard was when I shed a lot of my hair. Now, we girls, we do shed a lot of our hair from time to time. It's pretty normal, but I'm saying I really shed a lot of hair. Like, I could see it all over the floor. It was all over my room, and I was like,
what's happening to me? Am I dying? I have a weird disease that I do not know about. I have the sickness that dudes get when they just have like a receding hairline and they go bald. Do I have that? What the freak?
So I was seriously panicking. So I put my research glasses on, went into Dr. Google, as we all do, and looked into why I was shedding so much hair. And I found out through several researches that there is a correlation between weight loss and hair loss. According to this site, hair loss after weight loss is usually associated with a condition called telogen effluvium. Sorry if I'm pronouncing it wrong. Fluctuation in the body mass index causes physical stress, which signals the hair follicles to move into an inactive stage. Hence, the weight loss must be gradual. Now, my weight loss was gradual, but I think it was such a huge change because for the longest time, I've always been fat. And then suddenly, I just lost like 45 pounds. So yeah, I could understand the hair loss. Now, my hair loss is normal. You know, it's the usual hair loss we all girls have. But there was really a time it was really, really bad. Another bodily change that was really weird and unexpected was my feet shrunk. I naturally have thinner feet, so I thought that if I lost the weight, it would just go back to its thinner state. I didn't expect it to actually become smaller. So I'm a size 7 or 8 in shoe size, but now I'm more a 6 to 7, so it's a whole size down. There were a lot of things I expected, but this one was definitely not one of them. Feet shrinking is not a popular topic in weight loss Reddit stories, but apparently it happens to a lot of people if you really go down and look for it in the grapevine. So yeah. I also felt colder, but then I live in a tropical country, so it's usually hot here, so I don't know the extent of that yet. But I did expect to feel colder because a lot of people have said it in their accounts once they lost the weight. So yeah, there's also that. That's also quite true. Number 2. I actually like my diet and exercise. I don't know how to explain this, but when I started, I thought that if it became a routine, it just became something that I did routinarily, not necessarily something I absolutely loved or would actually be craving for, whatever. But now I do crave exercise and diet. And I didn't expect that at all. I thought it was just gonna be something I was gonna get used to. In terms of exercise, I just really like movement. So I need to move now. So currently, I'm usually stuck at home because I don't want to go out due to COVID. And because of that, I'm sedentary or I'm just in my room most of the day. That's why I really make sure that I get at least an hour or 2 of exercise every single day. I noticed that I would get more sad if I don't get to move at least for an hour or 2 every single day. I would crave that energy, that movement. I guess the hormones that get activated when you exercise and move about, I miss that. And I also plan all of my rest days during the times that I need to do groceries or I have to go out to do errands, so I'm still moving my body. Movement has really become a part of my everyday. In connection, I also crave my diet or the healthier things I eat in my diet now. So for example, if I ate like a bag of chips and chocolate, like I did this a couple of weeks ago, and then the next day I was still too lazy to cook, so I finished the bag of chips and a bit of the chocolate, and I just felt so grossed out, and my body was literally craving some greens, which has never happened in my whole entire life. And the next day I was so excited to cook and bake. I made myself a cup of spinach, paired it with a bit of fish, and I was so happy when I ate that spinach because I love spinach. But then at the same time I was just craving for some greens. The next day I ate some broccoli. Like I just instantly crave for those things that I used to not crave at all. And it has become more than a routinary thing. It has become like this active thing inside of me that would just say, you need to eat your greens, you need to eat your fruits now because you haven't been eating them, and you just feel absolutely gross. And it's not a feeling I'm used to, it's really new to me, but it's a very welcomed feeling. Aside from that, I do also easily get full now. I can really say no, I can really decide to not finish my whole meal, and I now know how to distinguish a good kind of fullness from a bad kind of fullness, which is a weird feeling, but it exists and I don't know how to explain it. But if I eat a lot of junk, it really feels bad inside. And when I eat a lot of greens, I feel that good kind of full because I don't feel stuffed, you know? So it's a new feeling, but again, very, very much welcomed. Number 3, the brain doesn't catch up as fast. This is more applied to my shopping. So before, I was a connoisseur when it came to my sizes. I knew what flattered me, what looked good in me, what my size would usually be in this store and whatnot. Now I'm absolutely lost. I look at a piece of clothing and I immediately think,
Oh, this won't fit me.
I end up usually getting a size or 2 bigger than me. And whenever someone would say,
oh no, this extra small shirt would fit you,
I would be so hesitant to fit it, and then I would end up fitting it and it fit me, or sometimes it's even a bit loose depending on which store you are in. So it would really shock me, and it's something I'm so not used to because I do see myself as thin, but I don't think my brain has caught up to seeing myself as that thin. So every now and then I do look at myself in the mirror to remind myself and to remind my brain that okay, you're now in a smaller body compared to before, or compared to how you probably still see it. So it's still catching up to that huge change. Number 4, I thought I'd feel happier or smaller. So I thought I'd feel smaller, not just in the sense physically, but internally. I don't know how to explain this one, it's very hard to explain. I felt that because my tummy has shrunken, like I thought my gut would also feel smaller, if that makes sense, or at least tighter. But it doesn't, like it's just normal. You internally still feel it the same way I felt it when I was at the bigger body. When it comes to feeling happier, I really thought that, you know, losing weight would just make me feel happier and the like, but it's not. I still have the same problems. You know, I'm definitely prouder of myself, but I was pretty happy before and I'm still happy now. I don't feel any happier, I'm just prouder with what I've achieved and how far I've come. And I definitely believe that I do have a better quality of life now compared to before. And for my last point, we have how others treat me. So a couple of videos ago, I did talk about how other people treated me and how they generally treated me with respect. I still stand by that, but now that I'm thinner, I do see a difference. It's not really better or worse, it's just different. Like for example, when I'm lining up, a lot of people would offer me seats, which is a new experience to me. A similar experience I have was when my family and I, we were going to the beach. We were lining up for them to check our COVID passes and whatnot. And it was hot outside. And this clerk went near me and he was like,
hey miss, you should just come to the shaded part because you look so great and you know, I don't want you to sweat and whatnot.
So it was kind of sleazy, but he really offered me that, so I was like, okay, I guess. And then he just went on his merry way. My sister just laughed at me, by the way, and she was still lining up in the heat of the sun. So it's those kinds of experiences. It's not really better, it's just different. Another is that I just generally look younger, and it's also probably thanks to my height as well. I'm only 5'2", 158 centimeters, and now that I'm thinner, people just ultimately think I'm younger than my age. So now during COVID, only ages 18 and above can go to the mall. This happened to me twice, okay? So I was going to enter the mall and there are guards there, and they were like,
you can't enter the mall because you're 17 and under.
They just immediately thought I was 17 and under. And I was like,
no dude, I'm in my early 20s. I already graduated college.
And they were like,
oh, can I see your ID?
So I had to give them my ID, and they were like,
oh, okay.
And then they let me pass. So those kinds of experiences were quite weird and a bit annoying, honestly. So those are like the kind of weird instances I can think right off the bat that has happened to me so far. I haven't been in this body for a long time, so there could still be more experiences that will happen. Aside from that, I really haven't tried dating, and it would be interesting to see the differences of how guys would treat me compared to before. So there's also that. But that's a video for a different time. Losing weight is just more than shedding the pounds. I also encountered so many weird experiences that I never knew would be part of my weight loss journey. Nonetheless, I embrace these kinds of changes because if I plan to sustain and stay in this body I am currently in, then these changes would eventually become my new reality. It's a different kind of experience, and I'm definitely trying to find my footing into this new world, but it's definitely welcomed nonetheless. I'm pretty sure there's going to be a lot more weird experiences to be had and to experience, but it's really true what they say. It's really not the destination, but the journey that makes it all the more memorable, somewhat weird and funny, but definitely worthwhile. Unexpected or not. That's it for today's video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you guys like this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and do turn on that notification bell if you guys want to see my future videos. Do comment down below what has been your weird experiences relating to weight loss and whatnot, and let's start a conversation. Thank you so much, guys, for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Babush!